Are there other collective consciousnesses beings like Earth on a similar ascension process in a similar dimension as this one? If yes, can you tell us where they are and what it is like?
Yes. So this is a consciousness that is not unique to your sphere, shall we say. There are other localities, we'll call it, other galaxies. As you know, there are many different galaxies with many different planets and many different stars, and this is not the only, we will call it experiment. We will use that term, and you indeed are not an experiment, but that was initially how it came about. It might have been deemed in that regard. So in answering your question, it is in a galaxy that is near the, as you know, Andromedon. Andromedon is a many, you call them Earth-like planets, and there are physical beings and different developmental statuses, we will say, and different you refer to it as evolution, but there are many, some that are not quite in the physical aspects that you have. They are different. They are more what your ancient ones were, more in a, your ancient ones were more, shall we say, in totality, the abilities and capabilities. And so you had another aspect to your question as to it is not different. So the dimensions, what you refer to, as we told you before, they're kind of like a cake, but they are universal. So it would be the same aspect in this Earth-like a planet where there are physical beings. There are many planets, but you said specifically similar to yours, and that would be yes. The answer is yes. It is not the only one, but we want to give you an example. So this is an allowance of understanding. So the dimensions, like the cake, are the universal. The dimensions exist throughout the galaxy. It does not mean that it's only the Earth has dimensions and that there's dimensions around the Earth. There are dimensions throughout the galaxy. Is not unique to Earth. The physical dimension of the Earth, the dense, the density that you call it the density, but this is one aspect of it, but it is throughout. So there are other stars that are similar, we will say, that have the same type of density and functionality, maybe you would call it, but it is the experiment, we shall say, is different than it is that you are currently experiencing. What you are currently experiencing is relatively unique in your climate, we will call it, in the things that are going on and the things that are transpiring. It is one that we really did not want to have repeated because of the ramifications of the it makes us sad. I'm sorry. It makes us sad. The ramifications of the nuclear capabilities is what can have ramifications that go throughout the dimensions, you see. So in this regard, this is indeed why we intervene. This is indeed why we watch, because this cannot take place, you see. So this is why balance is absolutely has to be restored, and this is not to be repeated. This has a this is universal, and has not, this has happened before, but the ramifications to the expanse exist. So in this regard, so this has happened before, yes, these have happened before to other planets, and it cannot, we say it cannot happen again. This is one thing that the we will say, lack of a better term, majority, the one combined focus and agreement is upon, that this needs to be curtailed in a mass destruction way, because it does not only affect your physicality. So to answer your question, the experiment, as we call it, is not just an experiment, but that is the seeding of it. It is similar, but yet different. It is very much likening to what you had before. What you had before was there was a knowing and understanding of things and abilities and connections and technologies that were actually superior. So it is indeed like that. There is indeed not as much commotion, we will call it, as not as much upheaval. It is different, but it is because that is present now. It is not to be repeated. That is quite interesting when you say free will. Is it free will to create mass destruction? Free will then is smashed on others' free will, so it is not free will, because it would impede on the free will of the expanse. Of course, you see that. So these things will not be allowed under universal law. But the dimensions are universally the same. The density is not as heavy, we will say. It is a little more lighter. But it is many societies. There are many societies out there that are similar and creating many things and daily habits and activities, and your aesthetics, the buildings and things would be really quite similar. You would be quite at home there. Absolutely, you would be. You would be, and it would be. You would be welcome, actually.
So, oh, so many questions from that one. Ah, I have so many more questions off of that one too. Oh my goodness, how beautiful. Oh my goodness, the many. I get one message and then I get so many questions off of that. I thank you so much. I want to be mindful of the vessel here. And I also want to say thank you so much for being here and answering these questions. The messages were incredible. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. We are quite honored. Thank you. Thank you. We are excited. We are excited because we are determined that, and we know that balance will be restored, and it is quite beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you for everything you do for us, for the universe.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So